You hooty hoo, happy Monday too. I am the sound of money in your ear, Doll Avant. That's still double L. I'm up and imitated, never duplicated. They call me the $1 billion babe, aka the bitch queen, aka the people's coach, aka Coach Dollar Bill. And you are in the doll house. This is the home of high value entrepreneurs. Over here, it is day number 40 of this 100-day challenge, and I think I just about got my life together, y'all. I'm so close. I'm so close. Um, because doing all the different things that I do is not easy. It's not easy work, but it is fulfilling, and I'm doing my job so that when I go to the island, I'm not gonna feel bad. I'm not gonna feel no type of way because I did what I was supposed to do, and I left my mark. So thank you guys for bearing with me and being patient as I got all my systems in order, because I broke it. My brilliance. Sometimes it's not easy being brilliant. I know y'all can relate. It's just not easy. It's not easy. I mean, by God, it's just the whole world. It's a whole different world in my mind, and then I got to get it out. What do we do it? And I need systems to support that. Um, so what's really cool is something that I'm going to be able to share with you guys today, um, and that is just a framework for how to think about the way that we do this work, the way that we are able to just like show up and create something that never existed before. It's a powerful framework. So I would love to get in here and share this with you guys. But first of all, let us level set. I need to do a better job of doing that because they're taking these videos. The point of me doing all this every day is so that they don't have to. I don't have to sit here and re-record. They can just take the stuff and do the editing and do all that. And I'm not there yet, but we're getting there. So listen, today we're going to talk about what to do when nothing is changing in your life and business. Like it's like I know what I'm supposed to do, but I can't seem to hold that long enough. And I try it for 2 weeks and then it doesn't work. And then nothing changes. And then I drop back down to my old frequency. Or I was doing good. And then every time I'm doing good, like something interrupts that. Like, I'm going to give you a tool, a way to think about life, the way to think about your time, a way to think about the process of creation, a way to think about your role as a creator, so that you don't have to deal with that anymore. It's gonna be good. And also, I want to make sure that you understand, why we're here. It's obviously it's a 100-day challenge. It's day number 40. We are doing what we got to do. What if we gave 100% of our best effort 100% of the time for 100 days? What would happen? Things would happen. But what does that even mean? What does that look like? So think of yourself as a star athlete. Shout out to whoever was cheering for Seattle in the Super Bowl. Did you know every time we get a new pope, Seattle goes to the Super Bowl? What's that about? I wish I had known that. They could have placed a bet on that. But I didn't say they win. I said they go to the Super Bowl every time. But anyway, being out here creating something from nothing, people around you don't understand, all of that. We have to do the work of showing up. So this is like the gym for, high class, world class athletes. Okay, you got to come in here and get a workout, learn some new techniques, get some practice in both the internal game and the external game, so you can go out here and win. I need y'all to win. I'm helping you to graduate from hustle to habits, giving you exact playbooks so you can shift your identity from employee to entrepreneur, from consumer to creator. And we're collapsing time so we can build our business at the speed of money. And again, that's why I show up every day. When you're ready to normalize making 10,000, 20,000 or more a month in your business, that's what we do here. Meet me here every day at 2:00. And then going forward for the 100-day challenge, these replays starting tonight at 6:00 will be in the school where they're supposed to be. You don't have to kind of search on YouTube. And then after the 100-day challenge, I'm still going to be showing up live at least during the week, every day at 2:00. And those replays will be on my Patreon. So thank you guys for being here. And like I said, we want to talk about this feeling of, I know what I'm like, you feel stuck, like you know what to do, like you've had some breakthroughs or some insight, or like, you had a moment, like you wrote all this stuff down, you're like, oh yeah, oh my God, I know what to do, or you came up with this framework or this tool or something, but you wake up and you just like you just feel stuck between your former job, former self, and the good life that you're trying to build. And I'm going to give you a tool that's going to help you stay in the present moment, make decisions every single moment so you don't have to feel like that. Okay. And shout out to everybody who's in the Zoom so far. I know some people are still on the way. They just texted me. But shout out to Desta Magaya. Shout out to Latrice. I know that's you. And shout out to Tracy for being here. And thank y'all who are on the stream. You know I can't see, but I see you. Okay. So let me go ahead and do this. Let me share my screen for my Zoom folks so you can see this document. And then I'm going to be referring back to it later on. But I got to get you right first. Hold on. I got to get you in the energy so you can see what I'm even talking about before I move on. The T-shirt ministry, Micaiah has spoken. Hustle to habits. We got to make this move. We got to do it. We got to do it now. We don't have time. We got to speed up. This is going to help you collapse time. It's going to help you with your personal development. You know what I believe. All personal development and business development, that's the same thing. Like, what are we talking about? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. So this is the framework. You know, I teach that entrepreneurship is a game. It is not a goal that we set for ourselves. It is a game that we must learn how to play. We must learn the rules so we can play this game and win. And in this game, there are some stages. There's some steps we got to take. So GAME obviously stands for gut check, audit, mimic the masters, and execute. But it also aligns. See, the reason why everything I teach, it works, and you never heard anybody teach it before, but it hits your spirit. You're like, this is true. I just know it to be true. You know the truth by the way it feels. You know why? Because it's based on physics. It's based on nature. I'm not making this up. This is how it goes. This is how you take something from the unseen. I can't see it. I don't know what it is. I've never done this before. Nobody's ever done this before. And then make it a thing. This is how you do it. So if I could teach you this process and hand it off to you, this is going to hopefully build your confidence. So you'll keep showing up and doing the reps and you'll hold the energy until you get the outcomes. Okay. So I want you to notice a couple of things. You've heard me talk about gut check, audit, mimic the masters, and execute many, many times. But this is what I want you to notice. There's something else that I always say. You're either spiraling up or you're spiraling down. So this document is designed to show you at every point of decision, you have a choice to make. You're either going to take this higher road and you're going to be rising, or if you spiral down at that point of decision, you're going to end up falling. So I need to break down what that means for you guys today. So think of yourself on the far left of this document, and you're standing at the point of decision. Now, what do I mean? Every time something comes into your mind, a new emotion, some impact, a thought, or something happens to you externally, a friend calls or something happens, at that moment, that spark of information, light enters your awareness, your consciousness. You have to make a decision in that moment. And what you do right there is going to determine your outcomes. And however, if you do that over time, that's what you're going to get in life. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Let me see if I can do a good job of getting this over to you and then also still share all of our social media framework today, because that's what I wanted to do. I want to do both. Okay. Now, if you are ready to get into it, let's do it. Let's do it. By the way, did anybody even watch the Super Bowl? Do people have comments about like the Bad Bunny situation? I personally just find it hilarious that this has now become political theater. Like, what happened to the Super Bowl? What happened to like the one thing that brought the whole country together? Like, I guess we graduated from that. We're not doing that anymore. Like, we're post that in America. Like, we don't even watch the Super Bowl together. Okay, it's over with. It's over. I said America's over. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Go ahead.
It was very interesting.
What on earth? And
to see all the comments and memes and things after.
What was happening? And I didn't even personally love the performance. I was just like, I don't know what's happening, but okay, it's a vibe or whatever.
I was dancing.
It's a vibe.
I like some of his songs. Yeah,
it's a vibe. We're gonna salsa today. Okay, it's vibe. But I'm just saying, like, that did not warrant all of the nonsense that happened. I think people have lost their mind. Y'all know, by the way, we have Black people to credit for everything. Y'all, we are in control of a lot of things. Did y'all know the history before one of my mentors used to be in charge of the, I guess, entertainment for the Super Bowl years ago. This is when it was apparently, because this is when we were kids or even born, if some of y'all. So all the way up until 1991, including the year that Whitney did the famous. That was the year she did the national anthem. It was just like marching bands and like little kids blowing bubbles and turning flips and doing magic tricks or whatever. Like it was just like this lame, very amateur, like something you would see in a small town parade or something. That's what the Super Bowl used to be. And so in 1992, In Living Color was at its peak. So the Wayans brothers, they said, you know what we're gonna do? Because the Super Bowl is usually on ABC or CBS or Fox or ABC or NBC or whatever. And so they were on Fox. This was a new network back then, and they were blowing up. So they said, you know what we're gonna do? This is what they tried to copy yesterday. That was a disaster. Okay. They said, during the little window of the Super Bowl, they had a countdown clock. And they said, we're gonna tell everybody, instead of watching the lame Super Bowl show, y'all come over here for 30 minutes and we're gonna do it a live, in living color. And literally everybody went over there and watched it. They had the highest ratings. The ratings of the Super Bowl just went just flat all the way, and it blew up, and it was amazing. To the point, legendary, to the point that the next year, 1993, you know who they brought to the Super Bowl? Michael Jackson, the biggest star in the world. They went and got. And so from that era is why we have all of these big over-the-top, Super Bowl shows. So I don't know if y'all knew that history, but I found it really entertaining. I'm like, let's go, Black people. And that was the year that he jumped out of the, I don't know if y'all saw it. You need to go watch it. It was stupid. And then he comes to the stage. He rises out of the ground, and he just stands there for like 2 minutes, literally. Did not speak a word, did not move. And the crowd is just going crazy. So anyway, we did that. So yeah, I thought that was fun. I have some commentary about that. I'm gonna try to do a piece of content about it. But anyway, the game was terrible. Like, what's going on with sports? Like, what's going on, y'all?
I didn't even watch. I just told my husband, I was like, I'm going to do my social media content.
There you go.
Let me know when it's.
You know what I'm saying? I'll be on. If something happens, call me. Right. I was like, the only person who could lose this game, it were all the way to the fourth quarter, down by like 20. I was like, the only team that could lose this game is the Atlanta Falcons in 2017. And I'm mad to this day. I'm still mad. So the Patriots, they got paid back for beating us in the fourth quarter when we had them down by 20. And so that's what y'all get. So like I said, shout out to y'all for being here. And the first part of the show, we're going to explain what I just showed you, because it's going to change your life. And then stick around for the second half, because I'm going to give you some basics about how to think about social, so that it becomes something that just flows naturally. It's not like something, oh my God, I got to do my social. Like, we just need systems, templates, tools, frameworks, and just start plugging things in. And we'll build on that for the rest of this week. So let's get into it. All right. So y'all got this graphic that we're looking at. If I'm correct, y'all can still see it. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm proud of this personally. I'm personally proud of this. Now, mind you, it took me way too long. I'm like, AI, you're supposed to be the great one. You're supposed to be able to come in here and just do amazing things. I didn't find it amazing at all. I felt like the things that I was getting back from AI were terrible. That's how I felt inside. I was like, what is this? What are these graphics? But anyway, it was faster than what I would have done myself. So here we go. Hopefully you've taken screenshots by now. Okay. So this is a meta framework. This is a lens through which all of this that we have been talking about should start to make sense to you. Because we've been talking about how to find clarity, building your offer, your value ladder, trusting your internal certainty, selling from a place of service and solution, overcoming rejection, like regulating your nervous system. Like, all these things are the nuances of what we're talking about. But today, I'm teaching you what to do at the point of decision. Every single moment in your entrepreneurial journey, you're at a crossroads. You're at a crossroads. And you have two choices, which y'all hear me say all the time. You either spiral up or spiral down. You're either going to rise or you're going to fall. Now, rising is actually, you could consider that chess versus checkers. Okay, you could consider that the fourth dimension versus the 3D. Okay, and the choice that you make determines everything. Are you going to make some money this month, or are you just going to stay broke again another month? Are we going to build momentum, or are we going to stay stuck in our business? Are we going to create this business that we had in our mind, like where you got thousands of people that you're able to serve on social media, and you got hundreds of clients that you really enjoy working with, or are you going to keep recreating this reality that you don't want? It's not a metaphor. This is our neuroscience and our metaphysics. Y'all know how I be talking. We're going to put it together right here. So let's get exactly very clear on what I mean. Everybody has two realities that exist right now. If you've not seen the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once, I'm just saying facts. Okay. Most people only think that what you see around you is all that there is. And I've spent a lot of energy talking about how that's not true. As a human technology, we are the interface between what we can see around us and this whole world that exists in our mind that you can't see. Nobody else can see but you. The place that your idea came from, right? So the reality that you can see, that's your bank account, your calendar, your client list, or the lack thereof, your relationships, your status right now, your circumstances, the results that you've gotten. That's our 3D, right? It's sensories, physicals, observables. Somebody can come and touch, taste, feel, and see. That's what your parents can see. That's what your spouse can see. Your family can see what you got going on. These are consequences, results, outcomes. These are things that, like I said, you can touch, taste, smell, see, and hear. All right. They're empirically there. And that's where most people live. When I say live, I'm talking about your focus and your attention, focus, energy, effort, and attention most of the time. So if you look at your bank account and you'll be like, oh, I'm broke. Or you look at your calendar and you say, oh, I have no clients. What am I going to do? You look at your circumstances and you say, I'm stuck here. I've been here for 6 months. It's never going to change, whatever. And you start feeling all tight. You feel the anxiety and all the stuff that comes with that. And that's your 3D reality. But you don't have to attach your consciousness to that, okay? Because there's a second reality that's non-sensory, it's immaterial, and that's where imagination, identity, expectation, meaning, potential, that's where that is. And most importantly, the word I say all the time, intuition. That's what I'm calling the 4D, fourth dimension. And that's okay. Think about it like a time delay. Like when we were watching the game yesterday, they have like I don't know how many second delay between what actually happened at the moment that it happened in the game and when it actually comes across your screen or your device. So the 4D is real time. That's upstream. 3D is what happens after the time delay. It's downstream. Okay, so the 3D reality around you is not the source of where everything happens. It's an echo or like a projection, or it's like a delayed signal. Okay. So it's the result of past patterns of thinking and emotion and decisions that you've done before in the unseen. So if you keep reacting to what's happening to you in the 3D, even in your business and the decisions that you're making, you're going to remain stuck. Because your nervous system now is wired to prioritize whatever feels immediate and even threatening. So if you give your focus and your attention to what you see around you, I don't have enough clients. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to sell. I don't know how to fix this. I'm overwhelmed. I have too much work to do. I can't Whatever that is, your nervous system is going to kick in because this is a technology. It's designed to work. So whatever you focus it on, is what it's going to do. So the 3D, it's like feeling urgent, solid. It's real. So now your brain is starting to do the thing. So you get a rejection, you check your bank account, you got a bill you can't pay, and then you let your nervous system go to the 3D and attach to it. You're going to pull that in for the rest of the day. You're going to let that determine your frequency for the rest of the day. So you start acting as if your circumstances are fixed. I got to do something. Oh my God, you start panicking and you start feeling limitations and constraint. What I see is all that there is. You start identifying with the 3D. So it gets to the place of your beliefs and your emotions and your identity. I'm broke. I don't have no clients. Things don't work out for me. I'm not good at sales. I don't know what I'm going to do. All of that. Downward spiral. A loop. Because the more whatever you identify with, you're going to observe it more. The more you observe it, now you're activating your reticular activating system. That part of your brain, when you get a red Toyota, and now everybody got a red Toyota. your brain is just going to filter out anything that doesn't match this. Now, the whole machine is going now in this downward spiral. You're looking for more evidence of this, right? So if you're financially insecure, every little thing, I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I'm almost out of this. How am I going to order some more? I don't know what to do. It's just everything. It's going to be lack and insecurity and lack and insecurity. It's going to reinforce it. Okay. So now you start living the same day over and over. That's a movie too, isn't it? He woke up every day. It's the same day over and over. It's a trap. Okay. It's a trap. We get locked up in the 3D. And then what are we going to do? Now we're stuck. Now we're waiting on somebody to give us a grant check or a pitch competition check or like, somebody please invest in me. And now you start all this external running and chasing. Nothing good is coming out of that. Okay. Versus understanding that your 3D reality is not creating your experience. What you're experiencing is coming from the 4D. That's where creation actually happens. So if you're able to expand your thinking, imagine new possibilities, change your identity, assign new meanings to things that are happening in the moment, and like hold the energy, have a different set of expectations. You know how I say reset identity, seek expansion. If you're able to do that over time, then you'll be able to materialize whatever's happening in the 4D is going to start changing what you see in the 3D. I'm not being deep. This is dope. I'm not being deep though. I'm just telling you this is how it works. You can do what you want to do with this information. You can keep going if you want to. This is how it works. So your attention is literally energy. It's the currency that I keep talking about. This is the only real currency. Okay, this is the creative force of the universe. It's your attention, what you focus on. So if you can focus your attention and make sure your emotions and your nervous system are aligning with that in what you see in the 4D, it will change your reality. So attention plus emotion is how we create things. Okay. So I'm not talking about changing your mindset and positive thinking. I'm not talking about that. Okay. Think positive. No. Because you can't fool the universe. You're doing affirmations and vision boards and all this kind of stuff, trying to visualize. It don't work. It doesn't work. You say, oh, I worked on my limiting beliefs. I've been journaling. And no. Because then if you do that and you don't see the change, you'll immediately drop back down because you'll be like, oh, it doesn't work. My reality is still the same. There is a delay. What did I just say? It's a delayed signal. Your 3D reality is not going to change in real time, and that's to your benefit, okay? It's a projection of past thinking and emotional conditioning. This is to your benefit, okay? Whatever you still see right now, after you made the shift internally, you made the shift in your systems, you started showing up on social, you started doing things differently, you started talking to people differently, you started having a different expectation every day you woke up. You're still going to keep seeing what you saw before externally for a delayed period of time. These are echoes. Okay, like if I speak right now and I'm in a cavern or a cave, it's going to keep, duh, 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 duh. It's an echo. So you can't go by the echo. You know what I'm saying? We're changing the input here. It's here. Okay. And that's where most people quit, in the delay. All right. If I sign a record deal today, right now, today, I'm not famous. I'm not world famous today. I got to go through the process. We got to do the image. We got to do the hair. We got to find some clothes. We got to do some photo shoots. We got to fly around. We got to meet all these people. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of things that need to happen. We got to go to the studio. We got to write some songs. We got to find a producer. Like, I don't know. We got to do some shows. We got to figure it out. It's a lot. And so you wouldn't quit. You're like, well, I don't see no fans. I walked outside today. I went to Whole Foods. Nobody came up to me and said nothing. Like, we understand that when somebody else is giving us something, and I need us to understand that when we're creating something, there is a delay. Okay, the old system has to unwind. You've been holding a certain frequency for some of y'all for years. Maybe you've been an employee, maybe you've been working corporate, maybe you've just been thinking, oh, I don't want to overstep, I don't want to, you've been holding that old version of you for years. And that's how you got what you see around you right now. So now that you've made this switch, we're only 40 days in, some of y'all less than that. You got to give 3D reality some time to catch up, and your systems as well. Right? So 4D now is broadcasting this new live stream. Okay. But the 3D is still playing the old recording. It has to have time to switch over. Okay, this is universal law now. So the skill that we have to develop, when I say rise, the identity we have to embody now is the version of us that can hold that. Just like wax on, wax off. It's like, listen, just do the thing. You're gonna get there. I mean, what are we talking about? There's no confusion. It's like, I don't know, I don't see them. Hey, do the thing. Do it again. Stay right there. We have to move towards mastery. That's the only way you're ever going to make this shift. That's why most businesses fail. This is the actual reason why these businesses fail. Okay. So we basically have to learn the skill of operating in 2 dimensions at the same time. Okay, because you still have to go about your daily life and do what you got to do. You still got to get on the phone, talk to the bill collector. You still got to deal with your parents and people around you don't understand what's going on. But also, you have to be unbothered and completely attuned with this thing that you're creating internally, and allow that to show up on your calendar at the same time. Okay, so we're fully participating and present in our 3D, but we're sourcing our identity and decisions and expectations from the 4D. Okay? You can't personalize what's going on. We observe without arguing. We exist, we allow it to exist without allowing it to change how we feel in our nervous system state. Okay? Imagining the future we want, choosing the identity of future self, making decisions from that future place, holding that frequency, letting our actions align with that. And then over time, it's going to show up in your day to day. Things are going to get different. I don't use the word manifestation. I'm not talking about, I'm telling you how energy goes from the unseen to the seen. This is physics. This is quantum physics. Okay. Because it happens at the unseen. The atoms start vibrating differently. Things start happening. Okay. People picking up signals and coming from halfway across the world, making different decisions because you have showed up at this frequency. Okay. So this is where we get into the graphic. If this is a game, think R.I.S.E, G-A-M-E. Or if you do it in the low frequency, F.A.L.L. These are just 4 stages once you make a decision, okay? At every moment, you're making a decision. So something happens. You get a rejection. You get a phone call. You get a check. Check your bank account. Ain't no money in there like you thought it was. A client, you thought you had the deal, and then they ghost you. You see a competitor. You scroll it, and you see somebody you started out at the same time, and they're doing way better than you. You have to make an offer, and now you got to show up. You got to be time to post content or time to do your outreach or whatever you're supposed to be doing your big 5. In that moment, there's an emotion that's going to come with that. So what you give your attention and your intention to is going to meet your frequency. If you have low energy, negative emotions, your frequency is off, you're making a choice in that moment. You can either rise, start showing up in the 4D where we could create from a place of possibility, or you're going to end up falling and start reacting to the limitations around you. There literally is no middle ground. And I say that to y'all all the time. We're either spiraling up or we're spiraling down. So we got to make a choice. And we make that choice multiple times a day, which is why I keep saying do the elephant diet, because the more you can make those choices ahead of time, the less you're going to be subject to how you feel in the moment. It's not based on, do you feel like doing this? It is, my schedule says, this is what I'm doing right now. So you could pre-program your time and these decisions to show up in alignment with what you're creating when you commit to your schedule. That's how you collapse time. Okay. So remember, G stands for gut check, A stands for audit, M stands for mimic the masters, and E stands for execute or engage. Okay. 4 stages. You're either going to rise or you're going to fall. Spiraling up or spiraling down. Okay. So gut check. This is the spark. This is why it's aligned with the element of fire. Something enters your field, an emotion, a thought, a person, an experience. You remember something, you forgot something, something happened you weren't expecting, whatever. You got to make a decision in that moment. Do I engage this or do I ignore it? And then if I engage it, how am I going to show up? And what frequency? This is the spark, if you want to call it that. Now, if you rise, this is where we're resetting. So you pause, you breathe, you remember who you are, you align. You choose, let me see. You choose to be the director or the creator in this moment. But it's a split second. You have to have that the tortoise versus the hare. The tortoise is on the top, the hare is on the bottom. Okay. Just that extra pause, that extra moment. You choose to go within instead of reacting to whatever just happened to you or whatever thought just came to you, right? Tune into your intuition and then allow whatever old meaning or old attachment or somebody on some weird, crazy energy or whatever that they're trying to bring into your field. You just allow that to resolve. This is where we reclaim our sovereignty, y'all. This is not a game. Like, we have to start showing up like this. This is where you make a decision. I am not subject to this moment, to this thing, this piece of information, whatever just happened to me. I'm sovereign in this moment. Okay. Now, that's if you choose to level up. If you fall, that's when you're going to actually forget who you are. You're going to react immediately. You're going to be following instinct instead of intuition. Old programming is going to kick in. You start reenacting the same old role you've always taken. Instead of choosing to be a director in that moment, you're just an actor. Playing the same character that you've always played, which means you're going to get all more of the same results you've always gotten. You see what I'm saying? It's a choice right here. It's a reset. You're responding instead of corresponding, like co-creating. Like, what can I do with this input? I just got an input. Let me see what I want to do with this. That's what a director would do. But if you just respond and react, you're just taking the same old role and the fire goes out. You forgot who you are. Y'all saw The Lion King. You better remember who you are. Okay. So, but now you started a chain reaction based on that one decision. Now we get to phase 2. This is the audit. So that was our gut check. Now this is the audit. If you're on the high frequency, if you're on 4D, if you're playing chess, not checkers, you become the observer. Now you could take this piece of information, this email you just got, this opportunity that, something came to you, or, you thought you had the deal that it didn't happen or whatever. Now you can look at your options. What meaning can I attach to this moment? Which identity will I choose? It's like going in a closet and deciding what you're going to put on today. What version of reality do I choose to engage with in this time? This is air. Again, we're breathing life into this new chosen identity. Because you get to do that. It's like, as in the seat of the observer, I'm attached to all abundance. There's no lack here. I could be anything that I want to be. I could choose how to respond to this. I could do whatever it is I need to do in this moment in time. Okay. This is identity. This is going through all of our options. Like I said, like choosing clothes out the closet. What energy will I carry? How will I conduct myself? What does this moment mean? What does it really mean? You get to choose that. Don't you feel the power? You're creating meaning in this moment. You're above all the possibilities and you're deciding which version of reality you would like to engage with. I'll take this one. This is the ease that comes from knowing who you are. You're not trapped. You're choosing. But if you're on the low frequency, if you're in 3D, if you're playing checkers out here and you panicking and you're living from the outside in, you're just going to accept. Whatever you feel in that moment, that emotion, that initial spark of emotion came, you're going to accept it. And then you're going to have an emotional reaction based on your existing limitations. Like you get a phone call and you're like, oh my God, I can't pay for that. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. Your emotions now are energy and motion. They're indicated to the universe. You have accepted, you have given your consent. You have accepted reality as it is currently. Now you start to give your attention to what you already see. So I'm spelling a word, as y'all can see, fall. So the first one, you forgot who you were. The second one, you're accepting this limitation and you're giving your attention to what you already see around you instead of what you want to create. You're focusing on what is outside of you instead of going within. So you've already agreed to stay in limitation. Your identity is now locked in to the 3D, which is going to trigger the next piece. This is a chain reaction. So in the game of entrepreneurship, we're supposed to, at this point, mimic the masters. We just audited all of our choices. Now mimic the masters. Choosing a course of action. Y'all know the word course is, they refer to like a boat. This is how you chart your course on a waterway. Like where the people are, where we're all, going out, talk to humans, all the potential opportunity, where you can show up, the decisions you can make, the pieces of content that you could put out, the conversations that you can have throughout your day. You need to choose a course of action, choosing how you want to respond based on what you've learned from somebody who's been where you're trying to go. So instead of you having infinite options, like I'm in the ocean, I'm in the middle of nowhere, I don't know where I am. Somebody gives you a map and a compass and tells you how to navigate so you can get to your destination. You set a course, like a ship. So you'll be carefully seeking that information, that outside counsel, finding something that's going to guide you. That's what I provide for y'all here. So we don't have to figure out everything. It's like, okay, what's the playbook? What's the fastest way? What would the masters do? If somebody was in my position who's trying to do this, what would they do? Let me do it like that. Why? So I can conserve resources, so I can hurry up and get where I'm going faster. We're not fish. We're not supposed to just be floating in the water indefinitely, right? So we don't have to make it up as we go. We're seeking wisdom. We set a destination. We choose specific actions that align with the destination. We lock in to where we're going. And we're no longer focused on where we've been. Okay. However, if you're on the low frequency, you're locked into 3D, you literally lock yourself in. You go back to your old vices, your old habits, your old distractions, your old programming. You lock yourself into more of this current lived experience. You just basically, you became the judge, jury, and executioner. Like in that moment, you said, okay, this is what it is. Even though you say, oh, that's not what I want, but you just said this is what it is. You're locking yourself into it. And you're choosing that same familiar pain instead of rising and opening yourself up to the unfamiliar possibility. And that's going to trigger the last stage where we execute or engage. This is the channel where things flow through. This is where things take root, take hold, and become visible to the external world. That's why it's aligned with Earth. Okay. Now we're taking definitive action that somebody else can see. And you're either expanding into this new reality or you're contracting into the old one. And that's where everything is going to materialize from. So if you are rising, we're engaging. Things start to happen through you. You become a channel. You follow the course. These are water words. You hear these earth words? Things, follow the course that was given. You carry out the mission. You lock in. You don't just stop, do it 2 days and then you quit. You stay right there. We find joy in the journey. We're not waiting. We're moving. We're expanding. So we just reset identity and we're seeking expansion. But if we fall, you done forgot who you were, you accept the reality as it is, you locked yourself into this current reality, and now you're going to start experiencing lack and limitation. So you're going to feel lost at sea. You're trapped in the matrix. Things are just happening to you instead of flowing through you. You live from a place of lack and limitation, and that now you're creating more of that because you're still powerful, but you said you locked yourself into this reality. And you're going to create more and more of that experience and reinforce the prison that you're in. Now, again, there is no middle ground. At every point of decision, you're either rising or you're falling. There is no neutral. You're either spiraling up into the 4D where the creation is happening, or you're spiraling down. That's it. There's nothing else. Okay. So we got to learn how to transmute our energy. We have to learn how to show up in a way that is going to put us on the path where we're rising, where we're getting consistent results, where we're able to overcome the things that come at us that don't align with the thing that we're creating in our business. This is why we don't start with a business plan. First of all, you don't know what to put in the plan. You talk to no humans. How do you know what to write down? What do you? Oh yeah, I'm gonna do social media content and paid ads like that. Stop it, y'all. Stop it. So that's first of all. But secondly, even if you wrote down a plan, even if you went and paid somebody who went and did the research and said, okay, this is what you need to do. If I give you the plan back and you can't hold the energy long enough to run the play, you're still not going to get what you want, because this is a game of concentration and you got to hold that energy long enough. Like if I send a signal out, I have to wait long enough to get the reply back. If I drop a rock into a pond, the ripple effect is going to work, but you got to wait till those ripples go all the way over to the other side of the lake and then come back to you. You got to stand there for, as they say in church. So we got to learn how to transmute, how to transcend, how you transform. This is the metamorphosis. This is staying in the cocoon. This is locking in. Okay. Don't nobody teach y'all how to do this. That's why we're doing this every day. I appreciate you being here. But my job is, I got a singular job. I'm to teach you how to rise. I'm giving you receipts from neuroscience and metaphysics and philosophy and physiology and psychology and all the rest of it, because I need you to know that this is how this works. I don't need you to just be inspired when you talk to me and then you leave 2 days later and you forgot because something happened. So over these 100 days specifically, I'm showing up every single day to train you so you can make the choice to rise. Every time you have a point of decision, a new input, something happens, good or bad, because sometimes we freak out because we have an opportunity. Then we start panicking. Oh my God, I don't know what to do. I need a proposal. I got to do something. How y'all think it feels to have the largest company in the world, which happened to me multiple times, call you and be like, yeah, can you send me a proposal? We've been watching you for 3 years and we would like to work with you. What would you? You can't be panicking. You can't be freaking out. You got to rise. You know what I'm saying? You got to rise. So this gives you a framework at every moment of decision, big or small, good news or bad news. Every input that comes to you is a point of decision. Okay. So I'm here to make this normal. Okay. Because it is uncomfortable. Growth is uncomfortable. You've never been here before. Your nervous system wants to fall back to the familiar old ways of showing up. And we cannot allow that. We can't have that. Okay. So we got to understand the framework so we know what's happening. And then I give you tools so you know what to do, so you can execute. And then systems, so you can keep holding that energy long enough, but all the pressure is not on you. All the weight does not have to live on you. So frameworks or lens through which to see the world, tools so you know what to do, and then systems that can start to do that for you on autopilot. All right. If we hold the energy long enough, we're going to make it. Now, any questions before I go on? Comments, concerns, and things? Okay. So this is where most entrepreneurs actually start fumbling. It's not that, oh, they didn't have a good enough business idea, or oh, they weren't smart enough, or oh, they don't have access to capital. That is not the problem, especially for my Black entrepreneurs. That is not the issue. These are the lies. My mom would say, the devil is a lie. That's not what's wrong. What's wrong is your idea came from the 4D, somewhere you cannot see. And you got excited about this idea, and something somewhere inside told you, I can do this. I think I'm gonna start a business. You told a few friends. You're like, oh, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. And now you did it. Okay. And then you stepped out in this new identity. You tried to imagine what that could be. You call yourself setting a course. You might even have taken some actions. Usually those are the wrong actions. You went and got a logo and some business cards printed up or whatever. Okay. But then nothing happens. Maybe a couple of weeks go by. Some people have been doing this for months or years. The 3D doesn't change. Bank account is still low. Clients have not arrived. The post did not go viral. You started on social media, you're getting crickets. Your offer gets rejected. You don't know what's going on. So then you start thinking, oh, it's not working. I was wrong. I should go back to what I know. So eventually, whether it takes months or years, people quit because they're not making this shift. They, somewhere along the way, like Earth, Wind, and Fire, they abandon the new identity. They go back to the old programming, which reinforces the old identity. And that gets you stuck again. I have a whole nother lesson that I want to teach, but I'm not going to do that. That explains how our clock, the circle, they got 12 hours on the clock, right? Did you know that before we were captured by capitalism, that same circle, our ancestors, they put 24 hours on that circle? So by shrinking it down, they're literally trapping you into a system. They're trying to limit what you think is available to you as choices and options. They want to keep you trapped in this 3D realm. And now they got technology to put that thing on autopilot. They're on this is the final boss. They're trying to trap you with some AI to keep you doing this in perpetuity. And we must escape. We must. That's why I call it the Great Escape. We must get off the financial grid, y'all. So we don't have to be. This is ridiculous. They've gone too far. Gone too far. So do not have yourself stuck. We still have all the options and all the freedom to get out of here, to get off the grid right now. Okay. So don't quit when you see echoes, when you hear echoes coming from the old thing. Okay. That just means that the past is still projecting. It's kind of like when you get on a plane, and you're going on a trip, you got to do all this, you sit in the airport and you wait, and they call the thing, and you do boarding pass, and you're okay, and you walk down, you got to stand in line, and you're going to think, or if you got the Delta thing, we drive up. That's how we do. We drive up to the side. They pull up, and you just walk into the little side gate, the side door, you just walk right on the plane. Yeah. And then, you sit down and do all that, and they come and bring you first class. They bring you, what would you like before the plane even taking off, they give me all stuff. Okay, you sit there, and everybody got to get on the plane. You sit there and wait, and then the steward is coming by, then you got to make sure you buckled up. Okay, time to turn off your device, and You don't be like, we're not flying, nothing's happening. And then you still got a runway. You got to speed up. You got to do all of this before you're off the ground. Right? The plane is getting ready, it's accelerating, they're doing final checks, they're doing all of this, building speed, but all this whole time you're still on the ground. You don't say, oh, this plane is not working, I gotta go. We still on the tarmac, you get up, you leave, get off the plane. Like, no. You have to stay the course. You gotta hold the energy. Okay? This requires practice. This requires consistent showing up. This requires you allowing the new reality to show up. Okay. When I see an echo, let's just call them echoes. This don't look like what I'm working on yet. That's all right. You can observe that without collapsing into it, without identifying with it, without letting your energy, your consciousness, your nervous system attach to it. Don't personalize it. Don't argue with it. It's just an echo. So allow that to exist. We're not judging it. It's whatever. We're not panicking. We're completely detached. Allow that to exist while we hold this new frequency. This is a muscle. It's a skill we got to develop. It's like learning how to dribble a ball and look around the court and do all that without looking at the ball. You have to be able to do both. Okay. Hold your identity in the face of contradictory evidence. Y'all with me? Okay, making sure. I'm checking. Comments? Okay. Now remember I told you this delay is here to serve you. It's here to protect you. Because if you didn't have a delay, then every negative thought that you ever had would show up instantly in your life. Every fear would manifest, every doubt would materialize. Okay. So this delay allows you to have some buffer. It gives you a chance to actually build new neural pathways. When I tell you this technology is what is creating the reality that you're experiencing, when you shift your nervous system, that's attached to your neural pathways. Now you got, your brain has to create new neural pathways now. It needs time to do that. You got to strengthen the new identity. You got to practice holding a new frequency. Just like when you start going to the gym, you actually have to tear up the old muscle and then go in there and let it rest and recover and keep doing that until it builds a new muscle. You know what I'm saying? This is like resistance training. So that's why this is the gym every day. Okay. So notice what's happening without collapsing into it. I see my bank account is low, but you don't say, oh, I'm broken. This is not working. And you don't argue with somebody who's trying to say that to you. You can say, I noticed that this offer got rejected. I put this proposal in and I didn't get it. Okay. But you don't say, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I should have did this. I should have did that. Oh my God, I got to quit. Oh my God. They probably think I'm crazy. I can't believe I even tried that. See the difference? Okay. We breathe through things. Okay. Take 3 deep breaths. Do what you got to do. Return to your 4D sovereignty. Okay. This is chess, not checkers. I'm successful. Whatever's going on here, that's just an echo of the old frequency. I'm holding the new one. The 3D is just got to catch up. It's got to catch up. You hear the confidence? There's a level of confidence. And this is not people online talking about be delusional. I'm not talking about that. I don't believe in that. I'm not telling you to be delusional. I'm telling you to deal with your present reality, do what you need to do, call somebody, get you a payment plan on this bill or whatever. I'm not saying I believe. I'm not talking about spinning around in the backyard 3 times and doing bay leaves and no. No. Some of y'all need to quit. Some of your strategies are not working. Some of y'all need to go get a job, get a little side money coming in and do all of that. I'm not telling you to be delusional. I'm telling you, while you are dealing with your 3D reality and being a responsible human adult, do not allow that to alter your identity and how you are feeling in your nervous system and what you believe is possible for you. And leave some space in your day, in your week, to do the actions that are on that set course for the new destination you set for yourself. That's it. We got to do both at the same time.
Man, it's crazy that you're talking about this because where's my video? Sorry, I'm working at the same time. It was this morning actually after I dropped my son off to school, and then my husband forgot something, so I had to run and go get him something, and then I'm looking at the gas tank being like, oh, okay, I need to get gas soon, and oh wait, but I haven't gotten paid yet. And then I was like, oh, stop it. The money's coming. Take some deep breaths. Mm-hmm. And I literally stopped myself and was like, okay, I'm going to take some deep breaths and calm myself down and go drop this thing off and then come back and recenter and start my day. Because it did start a little all over the place today.
It would send you all the way down a whole rabbit hole. But you got to catch it. Like,
yeah, basically. And I was proud of myself because I caught it quicker than I normally would. Mm-hmm. I think it's just because I have been practicing, and I can tell, when my nervous system is all over the place versus I'm like, no, everything's gonna be fine. Mm-hmm. I've got contracts. I got people calling me. I have people on my schedule to chat with and connect with. I'm doing what I need to do, so I feel good about that.
Man, I love it. That's what I'm talking about. Every day, y'all, we got to normalize this. This is our new normal. Because it's going to get different now. I'm telling you, when you start making $10,000, $20,000 months and everything, then everybody going to be like, hold on. What happened? This is where it starts, y'all. Okay. So stay in action from the 4D. Don't stop doing what you're supposed to do. Don't get all the way off your whole day, your whole week. I used to crash out for 2 weeks. I really did. Because I'm so talented, and most of you guys have the same level of genius. Like, I'm so good that I could just go off of raw talent, and I'll just get out here and do the thing, and then all this opportunity come, and I'm doing the thing here, and I was literally like be out of everything. And in 2 weeks, it took me 2 weeks to get back right, because I wasn't living by a system that was balanced and that was giving me what I needed. And if you pay attention in every individual moment like that, that's what keeps you centered, which again collapses time, because you don't take those weeks and days and months off of course, like taking a detour. You stay straight on the straight path. So I love that story. Thank you for sharing that. We don't stop making offers just because something didn't work or something got rejected. We don't stop posting just because one thing didn't work. We don't stop reaching out to people just because somebody said no. We act and perform from the 4D, not from the 3D. Then pay attention to what you're tracking, what you're seeing. Something might still be echoing from the old program, and that's fine. But what frequency am I holding, and where am I seeing evidence? Like you just said, certain things that I am seeing that are working. It's starting to work. Things are happening. Conversations that you wouldn't have had before. Your phone ringing differently. An email, an opportunity that you got. Things that are aligning with the new you. Money that's showing up unexpectedly, things like that. Clients who are reaching out, who are aligned with what you got going on. These are signs that your 3D is catching up to your 4D. Okay. So people want to ask, how long does it take? And I'm going to say as long as it takes. Because my question back to you is, well, how long have you been doing the other thing? You know what I mean? Like, how can I define that for you? It depends on a lot of factors. Smaller shifts, bigger shifts. Are you doing something very complex? Are you doing something that's already in line with what you've been doing? How long did you hold the old frequency? How consistently are you holding the new one? And how regulated, most importantly, is your nervous system? So that's where the elephant diet kicks in, because it's going to give you a very simple tool to actually hold your frequency without you having to overthink, because you just stay on the schedule. Something happens, okay, get yourself back centered, but stay on the schedule and you'll be fine. So let's bring it all together. We got 30 minutes. The missing piece that I've been talking about for several days that's going to help make all of this possible for us is the clarity. Clarity. You cannot hold the 4D, future self, new identity, however you want to say that, without clarity. If your vision is blurry, you can't, if there's static, you can't hold the frequency and it's static. Like, how we blast the radio because we're enjoying the song. I say find the joy in the journey. Well, if you got static and you turn it all the way up, it's like, you can't hold it. You can't hold it. So the more clarity you get in what it is that you're actually doing, the easier it's going to be for you to find it, breathe, get your head back in the game. The more confusion and overwhelm and I'm not sure that you have in your business, it's going to be very difficult because you're in the middle, stuck in the middle. And that's not a thing. So if you're stuck in the middle, you're still spiraling down. But it's just going to be very uncomfortable because you're like, I know, but I know I should, but it's, if you find yourself living there, this is what you have to work on. This part that we're talking about. Okay, so clarity. Here's how you know if you have clarity. Can you say no to certain opportunities without feeling like you're missing out on something? Like if every single person that reaches out to you, you're like, oh, that's close enough. That means you don't have enough clarity about what you actually provide. If you feel like you still have to justify your pricing, like you get emotional and you get nervous, not like the experimentation, because we're experimenting. But if you literally feel like, I'll make an adjustment. Oh, I'll give you a discount. If you're still doing that, you don't have clarity yet. If you're constantly tailoring, again, not like we have different subsegments of people that we talk to and we adjust our pitch accordingly. But if you're constantly like starting over, trying to talk to whoever, just trying to talk to everybody about what you do, or depending on who's asking, because you're seeking their approval, you're missing clarity. Okay. So this is what, if you have the clarity though, it's going to give you confidence so you can specialize on purpose. And the clarity is what is required to show up on social media. It doesn't come from brainstorming and just trying to figure it out. Clarity comes when you're able to zoom out, like I just explained, and do what I call pattern recognition. Okay, we're looking inward or backwards, not outwards. Okay, so what problems have we solved repeatedly? Everything I'm asking you is now going to become your map for how to show up on social media, because we have to broadcast this brilliance. We have to broadcast this journey that we're on. We have to share it with other people. We have to create a way for new people to come into the world that we're building. So it's not just dependent on you all the time. And it should be pulling people in as opposed to you having to constantly push out to get a customer. So what problems have you been solving repeatedly? What moments has your involvement unlocked, created movement for somebody, created transformation for somebody? What type of client leaves stronger after they work with you? What feels heavy, because we don't want to do that, versus what feels inevitable, like I must do this, like I'm built for this. We want to identify that and build work around that. So your offer, your this pathway that we're building for people to find you And ultimately, the conversation about it that lives on social is already present based on what you've already done in your history. But we just have to name it and then protect it. This becomes a part of the energy that we hold and protect. So now, clarity, being showing up like this and being intentional. And you know, they talk about authenticity has nothing to do with the person who's watching you on social. It has to do with your conviction. Okay, you're just giving somebody a window to who you are and how you think about this problem that you solve in your worldview and your experience in bringing that to the world without feeling like you have to convince anybody. It's like, by the way, this is how I show up, y'all. If you like how I'm showing up, come on, there's more. Like that's literally all social media is. Okay, and so that's going to force you to do some trade-offs. When you define what you offer and who you're talking to, that means you're saying this is not for everybody. And that might feel like you're limiting yourself, but that's actually expansion. From a 3D lens, you're like, oh no, it's for everybody. I need to try to reach everybody, please everybody. No, from a 4D lens, this is how we expand. This is our tortoise layer, not the hair. The hair is just like, oh, I want everything. I want everybody. I want to put it out to everybody. No, we're being strategic. I'm clear about who I'm here to serve, clear about my value. And I know I'm going to lock into that destination and they're going to meet me right there because that's where they are. You know what I'm saying? So this is counterintuitive to people that think that being ambiguous is safety, or thinking that your business is for everybody is the way to make sure you make the most money. No. The longer you stay ambiguous, the more you're delaying your decision making. Okay. So clear offers, y'all. I need a clear offer, and I need that clear window of where you're leading somebody. Now tells you, again, it's GPS. If you know your destination because you know the problem you're trying to solve, you know the offer that you're coming up with, you got clarity. Now you're just creating a system or a pathway to tell somebody how to get from where they are to this destination you just said. It's like putting an address in a GPS. As soon as you know where to go and you know where they're starting from, now the GPS can tell you, do this, turn here, go there. And that, all of those directions, that is your social media. That's the conversation you're hosting on social media. So the clearer you are, you're going to attract fewer random people and random opportunities, but you're going to attract more of the better aligned opportunities and people. This is going to shorten your conversation, shorten your sales cycle, stabilize your pricing. It's going to reduce all your emotional labor and stress. It's going to let you find the joy in this work and not be, oh my God, where are my clients going to come from and all of that. It's going to allow your work to compound over time and build on itself. You know what I'm saying? So we need social media to just broadcast what we're doing, this 4D reality that we're building. This is our way to broadcast it and make it real to somebody in the 3D realm. Okay, now this is based on all the research. I've taught 2 classes. I'm about to do a 3rd one on social media. So y'all know you have hooks and you have different things that you could pull from. I got prompts galore. I've got so much stuff to help you with social, but this is how I want you to think about it. Remember that you need short form and long form content. And then that the credibility layer, which we'll get to. So short form, because why? People need to see you 11 times. They basically need to consume 11 pieces of short form content from you for people to notice you. It's our 7-11-4 that we talk about all the time. All right. People need to see you multiple times before they see you one time. Okay. Everything is backwards, like I said. And then if they don't see you multiple times within 90 days, if you don't hit the mark, you don't exist to them. So now you got to start over. Which is why I must get everybody in this group posting every day, or at least every weekday. Okay. So what do we post? What do we talk about? Talk about things that could go wrong, things that most entrepreneurs are making this mistake. Go through all the hook things that I gave you guys, but things that could go wrong, things that could be a threat. The industry is changing. Most people are not recognizing the algorithm just changed. Whatever. Talk about that. You can talk about things that are strange, that make people curious. It's like most people think this, right? You think this, right? But actually, no. It's this right here. Everybody thinks da, but actually it's this right here. So they're going to be curious. Well, what do you mean? Are there 5 things that everybody who made $1 million last year in this industry did? I studied them all, so you don't have to. Here's what they did. I want to know. I'm clicking. So things that are threatening, things that provide curiosity, and things that are desirable. Talk about the outcome that people actually want. So you got to be able to define what they actually want and say, here's my 3-step process to get what you actually want. Or here's how I learned how to get what they actually want. 3 steps. Something is going to make them want to click. Our job is to get their attention. This is the biggest attention making machine. It's an ATM machine for attention. That's what social media is. So you got to put something in to get something out. And I'm telling you how to think about that, right? You can also give free value. So if you have a very clearly defined problem that most people are experiencing, here's how to fix that. Let me break it down for you. That could be a post. Here's how I came up with the framework that's helped 1,000 entrepreneurs to do this thing right here. Let me tell you this story. I'm building a platform that's going to make it so easy for you to come on this journey with me. Okay. You can also create content that leverages associations with people or brands that they already know. So here's an example of that. I have a lady, I guess she's still in the West Coast, that tried to invest in Opportunity. And she's written a book and she got a lot of press. And y'all would probably know her name if I called her name. And she met with us a couple times to try to invest, and it wasn't a good fit. And whatever. I was really too early stage at the time. But she had like a VC fund for a time, and now she's on YouTube. Now she's just like doing content like everybody else. Okay. And she keeps doing all these posts like make $1,000 in 24 hours, like stuff like that. So I could say, I tried blank person's hack to make this much money in 48 hours. Here's what happened. Everybody who knows her name is going to watch this video because I was like, oh, what happened? Or I follow, y'all know I told you to read $100 million offers in the other book, the Alex man, his book, or Gary Vee, who I shared the stage with before. And I'm like, I could say, I got Gary Vee's new book and follow every piece of advice in there for 30 days. Here's what happened. Or here are the 10 things I learned about entrepreneurship going to Harvard. I'm leveraging my association with things that they're already familiar with. So now they want to watch my content to see what I got to say about it. You could talk about, here's what I have a whole series. Here's what I learned about entrepreneurship from Cat Williams. When he did that interview with Shay, that was before Shay got canceled, child. But I could do a piece on that. Here's what I learned about entrepreneurship from Issa Rae. Here's what I learned about entrepreneurship from Bad Bunny, which actually I did because I did a little research because everybody's talking about it. Whatever's happening currently is your currency. You know what I'm saying? So you can talk about things that are familiar and tie it back to your work. Here are 3 reasons why major important brand, their website works. And 3 lessons you can learn from that. Here's what not Oprah, everybody's canceled. I can't say nobody's name anymore. Here's what X celebrity had to say about yoga and how to apply it to your life. You know what I'm saying? Here are the before Airbnb was famous, they had this piece of advice from their circle of advisors. Here's what they said. Because at the end, it's like, by the way, we're making ourselves available. We're a team of tech Avengers who are becoming the secret weapon for early tech startup founders. Let's have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can do this, y'all. Social media, we can do this. We can do this. And that's what's going to get you noticed. It's going to make people want to click and listen to your content. Okay. So we got the short form. I need you to do that. You can do it. Substack Notes is right now, the next 6 months, this is where you need to be. This is where it's going down in Substack Notes right now. What Twitter X used to be, that's what's happening on Substack Notes. We need to be over there. I'm going to figure out when on my schedule I'm going to teach what I've gotten from some people who are doing well on Substack. But just be on Substack Notes. You can put it there. Of course, you can put it in, if you're on YouTube, you can put it in the posts section of YouTube. People are building a lot of community with that. Of course, it doesn't matter how long or short. You could post things like that on LinkedIn as well. If you're still on Facebook, you could do it on Instagram. Okay, y'all know that. But short form content in written form, because that same little short blurb that you write, you can get on camera and say it 30 seconds, to 90 seconds, 2 minutes, whatever. Okay, short form content. Number 2, we need our long form content. This is where people get to know you. At minimum, depending on how big of an energy you have and how important and how massive the problem you solve and the types of topics you talk about and how much of a worldview and a stance you have, they need anywhere from 2 to 7 hours of spending long form time with you and your thought leadership to really feel like they get to know you, like you, trust you, know your brand and stuff like that. Now, the more clarity you have, the more you can shut that down. I've read somebody's post one time, but subconsciously, I probably have seen them like going through my feed on LinkedIn or something. But I've had an experience where I would read one post and the clarity is so clear. It's like, oh, thank you. And they're like, take this step, comment this word. Yes, I would like that. Thank you very much. And then you're already in the thing, like within 2 days. So it don't have to take forever. But I'm saying think long term in terms of building a system. You want a body of work where people can go and binge watch, past episodes or go read some articles from before and like get into your world. So you need to have at least 2 to 7 hours of long form content. Long form meaning over 10 minutes, okay, where they can get to know you and your thought leadership. So podcasts, workshops, a book, longer form YouTube videos, in-depth LinkedIn articles, in-depth articles on Substack, things that are really going in. I got some Substack is people right now are giving their very best on Substack. They really are. And I love it. It's a great user experience. So what to include in this long form is basically spell the word capstone. Okay. You're going to give clarity about what topic you're covering in this longer form, video or article or whatever. You're going to establish your authority, why they should listen to you. You're going to talk about the problem you're addressing and really amplify the problem. So all of that problem language that we spend so much time talking about, you're going to go into that, make them feel seen, heard, understood, paint the picture. People are experiencing it. It's not just you, all of that. Then you're going to talk about the solution, how you have come to solve the problem. So that's some of your ISDR. You're going to say how you came up with the solution and what it really is and how it kind of works. Then you're going to do the why it matters that we solve this for either that individual that you're talking to or for society, if it's a piece like that. Then you're going to say opportunity, what's possible for them if they start to get involved in this type of solution. What could that look like? How could their world be different? Then you're going to give next steps, what they need to do now. And then you're going to finish. When I teach the 5-star pitch, I usually tell people to go back to the elevation part. So essence or elevation is the last E. I'm just spelled capstone. This is the emotional core of your brand. This is why any of this matters. This is, by 2030, there'll be a 40% greater demand for clean water than there is supply on this planet for the first time in human history. So you need to do something for you to protect you and your family, but also, join the movement so we can save the world's water. I would say that at the end of every pitch, literally. So if you're writing an article, you're writing a script for, whatever you're doing, that's a long form piece, just start with the clarity. That's your hook. Now, what does this content cover? In this episode, we're going to Authority. Why did she listen to you? Hi, I'm such and such. I do this for this kind of person. Da, 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 da. Problem. Today we're talking about this. You know how? And then you go into that so they can relate to the problem. Okay. Then you're going to say, give them enough time, really amplify the problem. Okay. Give them stats and stories and all of that. Then you get into the solution. Now, most people never figure this out, but we figured it out. So now the episode turns. And then it's like, this is how you solve the problem. And you go into your framework, whatever it is, 1, 2, 3, bop, bop, bop. Okay. The why. This is why it matters that we do it this way. The old way was this. The way we do it here is this. You're going to save time. You're going to save money. You're going to do this. You're going to have better, whatever. Then opportunity. Now, you can go further with this. This is what's possible. So most of my students, first of all, you get this free thing. You can go over here and take this next step with me because you need to do that. That's an opportunity. But there's more. Solving this over time is going to make you better this. It's going to give you whatever that is. Then again, next steps. So what I would do if I were you, listen, you don't have to struggle with this anymore. We got a whole class of people, a whole cohort. We do this every Tuesday. We got the free PDF. We got the thing. Come over here, join the community, link down below, whatever that is. Okay, next step. And then essence or elevate, the emotional core. Now we got to get this together, y'all, because they're playing out here. The whole entire global financial system is being reset around us right now. We don't have time. So when you're ready to move at the speed of money, you do what you need to do, get your money, so you get out the way, go to the island. That's what we do here. So click the link, do the thing. I got another video about this, by the way, if you want to watch it, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm out. That's it. We just made a long form piece of content. You can do that for 10 minutes, you can do it for 20 minutes, you can do it for 2 hours. It doesn't matter. Just know your audience and go for it. Okay. So then number 3, third type of content that you want to weave in here. Very, very simple approach to social media, guys. It doesn't have to be more difficult than that. People judge you by what they see around you. So remember 1174. I did it backwards today. So 11 pieces, they need to see you 11 times to see you the first time. So we're doing short form to get that 11. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there was an article study by Google. Look up 1174, 7114 study by Google, and it'll come up. So we did the 11. We did the 7. Long form. People can go, just like you could sit and go watch Denzel movies. And now I'm a Denzel fan. You can go and listen to somebody's album. You can go download Bad Bunny. It's like, I didn't know, because last year I thought it was hilarious. People were like, I never knew about Kendrick too. Oh, really? So then he had an album. So then you go listen to the album. Like, you need a body of work where they can go and listen to all your stuff. Now, because if they enjoy it, they're going to want the next one. I found that was my problem in the WhatsApp. They're like, okay, it's over. That way, like, I got to sit here and try to scroll. Like, I need more. I need a binge. So we had to move to another platform. So give them the long form. Then number 3, in that formula, 7114, the 4 stands for association. They need markers of credibility. So if I've been featured by Forbes, Google, Wired, New York Times. That's why all celebrities, they always, they're on the cover of a magazine, and they go on the Jennifer Hudson show, and they go on Jimmy Kimmel, and then they go on, the Today Show, and then they go on Good Morning, like that. The reason why they do that when they're releasing something is because this is how the brain works. So they need to see you 4 different places where they can associate you. Okay. So brands you've worked with, awards you've won in the past or you're winning now, results you've created, people you're associated with. Maybe I just hit my 15th client, you guys. I've been in business 6 months and I just hit this milestone, or stuff like that. It builds credibility. Now, all of this you should have already in your realm, because this is all coming from the 5-star pitch. It's nothing new. Everything that we have is building on top of itself. But all your credibility markers can turn into story time on your social media. And you need to mix all that in there, okay? Then from there, you want to make sure you have a landing page, like a very clear call to action. What do you want them to do? How do they start that value ladder that we keep talking about, those 4 tiers that they could take a step with you before, if they're not ready to buy your big thing. But what can they do now? What can they do next? And make sure you have a landing page, which doesn't have to be a big deal, you guys. We could do this on Canva. You can do it on Notion for free, literally for free. Okay, you can have a stand store. I saw somebody yesterday that I thought the way she did it is really cool. Like, she has all of her shorts on YouTube. I guess she's on Instagram. I don't know, because I don't spend nearly as much time on Instagram as I do on YouTube because I'm studying. And so her short was so on point. Like she wrote a script. You could tell nobody talks like this, but it was so clear. It was like like she said what she wanted to say. I'm sure she put it in Chat GPT and got it where it sounded great. It was very crisp, punchy sentences. Boom, boom, boom. So she said, "This is this, da 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 da." Boom, boom, boom. And she had a title, so it made me want to click the video. And then I watched the video, and I was like, "That was powerful." And she was like, "If you want more of this, go to my Substack." So I click and go to her Substack. Then she has long form. Amazing. The article. I was like, girl, I need to call you to come and speak to the class. Like, what? I enjoyed it. I started binging the whole. I'm like, see, I'm in a rabbit hole. I was supposed to spend 10 minutes on this. It's been 25 minutes. I'm still reading. I love this. So then at the bottom of every article, she would say, now, if you want me to help you with this, or if you want a one-on-one, or, she had like 4 or 8 different things that she offers. But guess where they all live? On her stand store. So every different piece of content that she writes, she has a different, maybe just like a slightly altered call to action, or a different, lead magnet, if you will, that I'm going to give you tomorrow, the formula for how to make sure anything you offer for free is going to be impactful enough to get them to want to take another step with you. There's a formula for that too. So I'm going to give you that tomorrow. But she had all of those different ones all on her stand store. And some of them were free, some of them were paid. And it was just like, whatever. This is a system. So she's at the house. She's on the airplane, wherever she is. But I saw a video, went and started reading all her long form content, and I'm seeing who she's worked with, other brands. She has that little bio in there. And then it's like, click here, schedule yourself. It's all automated. That's all we got to do, y'all. So having a landing page somewhere where you can convert, you have to convert the attention. Okay. We want their email. So on your landing page, make sure you have a hook. Are you ready to get this outcome? Are you feeling frustrated by this problem? Very, very clearly defined, right? Clarity is key. Then you have a value prop. If you do this, take this action, whatever you want them to do, you're going to get this outcome. So do you want them to take a quiz, fill out a form, buy a little thing for $10, $20? What action do you want them to take? Give them 3 clear reasons on this page to take that action. Then you give your credibility. Here's my background. These are the results I've got. This is what research has shown. I'm outside. And then again, repeat your call to action. Take this assessment, join this workshop, book a call, buy this little thing. And we want to keep tweaking this system until you can see the metrics. How many people are hitting your landing page from all your posts? Where are they coming from? And if you can get a 20 to 40% conversion rate on your landing page, you're in business. Touchdown. I need my referee shirt. Let's go. That's it. So short form content gets you noticed. We need 11 touches, which means you basically need to show up every day. Because depending on where you're posting, some people got a lag. Sometimes, especially on LinkedIn, you might post something now, people see it 2 weeks later. I don't know what that's about. But you might have somebody's been off the platform for 2 weeks and they come back on YouTube. Now the algorithm is bringing your stuff that you posted 2 weeks ago. I'm just seeing it now. Or maybe I went down a rabbit hole. I wasn't even talking about this, but my mentor said I need to be looking into this. So now I Google or do a YouTube search for that specific thing. And I'm watching other videos about that. And now something you posted 3 months ago, now it's in my feed. Or I wasn't thinking about you at all, child, but now I just got engaged. Or we just decided we're going to move to the beach for the summer and I need some weight loss today. I need to get it. I got 3 months. And all of a sudden now I'm looking for you. So the algorithm will go and pull from your vault and start putting your videos in front of me, even though it's not like something you posted yesterday. So we got to think long term. We can't be in the consumer mindset of, okay, I paid $20. Where's my stuff at? That's not how it works. We're planting seeds, you know what I'm saying? So that people can find us in their own time. So your short form gets you noticed. We need 11 touches. Your long form gets you known. 2 to 7 hours of content. Don't stop until you have at least that much on your page. But I don't see why you want to just post. If you do the short form every day, at least give me 1 piece of long form every week, if not more. I would love if you do more than these every day. Okay, more than one of these. And then have a way to convert those leads, either because people are booking a call and you're doing your Afro method and that's working, or you have something that's a low ticket item that they're just buying it themselves on your page. So we need to convert all this attention into ultimate calls and sales. And that's the system. And that's how you make your 4D thing that you had in your head, make it real in the 3D realm. Social media is the key. Don't wait till they change the algorithm again. Don't wait till everything goes to AI. We need a personal brand before everything goes all the way AI. I'm telling you. I don't know what window of time we have, but you need a personal brand of people who know who you are, know your content, and are looking for you by name. Like, oh yeah, I remember, she's good at it. Let me go and before AI just starts bypassing you and suggesting the people that have already done this work. Okay. And the good thing is it compounds. So week 1, you might post 5 times, a few people engage. Week 2 or week 3 or 4, you post 5 times, people start looking for your content. By week 6, 7, 8, you post 5 times, people are sharing your content because you got more clarity in there. It's sounding like they need it to sound. If y'all need examples of great LinkedIn content, I'm telling you, I've found some people that have cracked the code. Do you understand me? They have cracked the code. And 98% of people are not even posting on LinkedIn except an occasional, hey guys, I got a new job. Like, they're not posting content. So it's wide open. You can become a part of the 2% tonight. All right. So by, let's say, 6 weeks into this, 8 weeks, 10 weeks into this process, you're posting same 5 times a week, but people are now buying, people are DMing you, people are reaching out to you, people trying to see what you got going on, even before you made an offer. The example that I gave today, the way he has his setup, which I think is brilliant. I'm trying to figure out how I got on his email list. I'm not entirely sure. Might have been from Substack. I don't know. Maybe it must have been from YouTube. So I get on his email list. His emails are just insanely valuable and so direct and clear to the point. It's like, if you want to know how to dot, 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 then I'm going to break down my framework that has gotten me to dot, 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 dot. And he'll put like 2 or 3 of them in every email. So every time he sends an email, I'm opening the email because I know it's going to be valuable. He has a little ninja. You know how I have my little icon that I use? His is a ninja. It's funny, but I know it's him. So I immediately click every time. His subject line is amazing. We're going to get to that, y'all, how to do the email stuff. Because there's levels to this. If the better you get at these skills, the easier you don't have to worry about it. The system is doing the heavy lifting. Okay. So I'm clicking. So he has 2 or 3 things there. If you want to know how to do this, click right here and get it. You want to know how to do this, da, da, da. But then he supercharges it. He didn't just do that. So when you click the link, now I don't know how to make this work because I don't like the way it does it on my phone. But when you click the link, it should just open in the app. When he does it, it doesn't go there. But it takes you to his LinkedIn. And there'll be a post on LinkedIn about what he just said. So basically his newsletter is a curation of 2 or 3 of his last LinkedIn posts, which are super valuable, really, really very clear and profound. Here's a tool that you need. If you are trying to win on any social media and email and newsletter marketing streets, here's a tool you need. Here's an AI prompt you need. Here's a way to do this. Here are 5 tips to do that. Here's how to make your copy jump off the page. Here's how to, like that. So now I'm on his LinkedIn. So I'm getting social proof now because I'm seeing other people, 50 other people that, and he'll put the post and he'll have the thing on there and he'll give you the tip in the post. And then he'll say, comment below if you want me to send you the AI, the whole prompt of how I do this or whatever. Comment, Gary or something, So I'm in the cut, right? So then this is a lot more work. I'm not sure he needs to automate this. I don't know. But then within 2 hours, I get a DM from him that sends me what I asked for. And he'll say, respond and let me know, make sure the link works. So then I click it. And I mean, again, this is some redundancy in here because then I have to resubscribe because he don't know if the people are just coming off the LinkedIn, they might not be on his thing. But anyway, Then it'll ask me to put my email in, and then it'll take me to the page. Boom, and it's on his Notion, so he could literally run that for all of this for free, except for I guess the email autoresponder. And all the tools and everything, and all the prompts and the screenshots and everything is all there. It's right there. So now I literally have a folder on my computer with this man's name on it. And every time he sent an email, I'm downloading all the value and the good stuff because it's that clear. But he's getting me on the email, then he's getting the LinkedIn going, then he's turning around and I'm going to the value add, and I'm sure when I get to the bottom of these tools, it's gonna offer me something. I don't know, but whatever he's selling, I'm here for it. I'm like, yes. Or if he opened a cohort in a month and said, "Do you want to learn how to such that?" I would probably be like, yes. You know what I'm saying? So you could get creative in it, but it's a system. He's probably sitting at the house. He probably every 2 hours, he probably just go and check his LinkedIn comments, the notifications, and every single person that put the little keyword, he'll go in there and copy and paste. It's in that message, and boom, there you go. I could do that and watch Netflix all day. I could do that, just be outside shopping, and like the systems are supposed to do the heavy lifting, but it comes from being so clear and everything you post being so clear that it's a no-brainer. It allows for the motion. So, and that consistency also causes trust. They trust the pattern. They feel safe. And remember, I told you that's how we get to connection. We talked about all that. And that is the birthplace of all currency. All right. So I'm done. I would like to know if you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, feedback, perspectives, or personal story time. And I want to make sure that as you leave today, because I'm going to keep referencing it, but I need you to practice rising every time you have a point of decision. Become aware of this. When something triggers you, something unexpected, a rejection, something negative, somebody ghosts you or whatever, you see a competitor, you got to make an offer, it's time to post, you get nervous, you feel avoidant of something you're supposed to do. Pause. Ask yourself, am I rising or am I falling right now? Reset. Remember who you are. Choose your sovereignty. Go within. Observe your options. Feel the feeling of abundance. You could do anything or nothing at all. You could choose to shut it down. At any time, you could choose to shut it down. You don't have to do anything, And then you create meaning. You decide. Don't just accept the meaning. You decide what the meaning is. And then seek expansion, get ready to choose that course of action. Find out, okay, what's the best way to do this? Go get some frameworks. I'm giving you all the best frameworks, y'all, seriously. And set your course. And then take those actions, engage, move, create what you want to create. You could do it. On social media, we got to get clear. What problems are we solving? And let's get to posting. Now, my commitment to you is this replay and all of the ones that I've been doing starting today will be in the school, the Doll House 2.0 by 6 p.m. So you all don't have to search for it. You can go find it, pull it down if you need to review something, ask questions, and you could do it in the school the way it's supposed to be. So it won't be feeling unorganized anymore. And make sure you journal each day, like anything triggering you, anything supporting you in this journey. And, celebrate your wins, y'all. And do your big 5 every day. Put 5 on it every day. This is how we're gonna win. I'm telling you. So we got 60 more days of this. Like, we could be so far down this road. So far. We could be winning for real if we show up in this way. So anybody got any questions, comments, concerns, challenges, feedback, or personal story time before we go? I'm having a great time. I love it here. I really do. I really, really do. So
thank you for this.
Yes, man.
This is great every time. I'm always looking to see if it's 2:00 yet. So I need to hop on while I'm doing my other stuff. But this is very motivating, and I definitely feel a difference within myself, and I'm getting more confident, and the elephant diet is definitely working. I think it's the perfect thing for me because I'm very detail oriented. Mm-hmm. So it helps so much that I can schedule everything and put it on a timer and be like, okay, remind me.
Yes, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't gotta think about it. Just like, oh, it's time to do this. Okay, cool. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so it's less it is less of a mental load because I'm like, oh, let me get my tasks out. Something just popped in my head, let me write it down,
Mhm.
you know, and then I can flow throughout the rest of my day, or you know, and
Yeah, you can go to
do
lunch,
later.
child. You could go, go out in nature or do something.
Mhm.
That's how it's supposed to be. I love that. Thank you for sharing that and for being consistent, because you about to win. I'm excited about your outcomes. It's about to happen. And then look at me being accountable. I'm creating a bingo card for myself. So y'all know I have my day already mapped out, color coded every single hour of my day. Mind you, somebody told me to do this. One of my mentors, who's making like not $1 million a month, but something close to that. And he was like, "What else do you have to do? Like, why wouldn't you schedule all your time?" And I was like, "Yeah, facts." And then fast forward to now, I can look at seasons in my life where I haven't scheduled my time versus when I have. Night and day, night and day. But I get an email from a new email list that I'm on right now, who I want to say for sure they made $100 million last year. They just crossed the mark. And another group that I'm in. Anyway, she sends the notes, her internal notes that she sends to her staff. That's what her email newsletter is. And she literally was like, "I'm going to need every single hour of your day to be accounted for. I need you to map it out, color code it." She said, "Your calendar should look like Tetris. It should just be blocks of different. Okay, I gotta do this, because every category of task has a color code, and y'all know that's how I taught the elephant diet." I was like, "See, that's what I'm talking about. People out here making millions of dollars, but they don't play about their time." So I have a bingo card now. In addition to that, what I mean by that is, because you know how part of the elephant diet is, if you don't get to something, you want to reschedule it, right? So my social media posting, because I'm following the Gary Vee method, which is insane, but here we go. I'm doing it. I don't know how I'm doing all this and saving the world's water, but I'm doing it. So in order for me to do that, I gotta hit all of I'm not on TikTok anymore, but other than that, I gotta be on all my platforms basically every
I
day.
had a question about that. Should I not be on TikTok for my business anymore?
Oh,
I hear you say something about that, but I'm still posting like it's one of my four. But do
it's
I need
nothing
to?
wrong with the visibility is what it is. The problem is the
Right.
surveillance state. Like
Uh,
it's been co-opted, but I will put all of those thoughts in a Substack and make sure I share it with you guys so that you can make an informed decision. So anyway, so I have my bingo card, and so what I just did right now, check, right? And then now I have to take, oh, I forgot to do this. So tomorrow, y'all remind me. When I say something that is like memorable, put it in the notes for me. So like, we don't hustle, we do habits. Things that resonate with you. So the quotes like that from my long form, I'm going to just, the black background, white text, and it's going on my X, and it's going on my YouTube post thing. Boom. And I'll be able to check that and I need a call to action in mind for each one of those. So I'll do that. And then take the transcription from what I just did while I go get some lunch or whatever. It's going to transcribe. When I come back, run it through my AI prompts. I already have my prompts in there for my LinkedIn post. I need it to sound like this, look like this, go like this format, blah, 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 blah. Run it through there. And then while that's happening, this past weekend, I already did thumbnails, like picture wise and image wise templates for my LinkedIn post. That's already done. So when my AI gives me my formatted LinkedIn post, go pull the image, change the title, and put the hook on there, and then boom, go post it on LinkedIn. Check that box. Then YouTube, I will edit every time I do a live like this. If there's something that needs to be edited out, maybe I was rambling on one part, or maybe, we got off track or something, I'll edit it down to a formal YouTube video. Put a thumbnail, have an introduction, put my little music, my little dollhouse thing at the beginning and at the end, and get my description, let my AI template formatted thing write my description, my notes, right? And then get that uploaded into YouTube, check that, and then before 6 p.m., take the link and make sure it's in the school. Bam. Then, and have a call to action, right? Then make a post about it in school, because y'all know I only go on WhatsApp on Tuesday and Thursday. It's fine. Make a post about it in school. and ask a question, invite people to the conversation. Make a post about it on Substack in the notes and invite discussion and conversation and have a link if they want to watch it. Okay. Then I'm doing a longer form podcast, which is a version of this, but designed to be listened to, not watched or interacted with. So edit what I said and get the audio down for that. If I need to re-record something, do that. If I could just pull the audio the way it is and just edit it, do that. And I have one platform where it will upload to Substack, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Podcasts, and Patreon. Boom. Do that. Check. Then on the weekend now, because I can't do this every day, but I will take all my YouTubes, and then I will start editing them down, chop them down. So just things that are talking about neuroscience, quantum physics, and all of that, make a video about that. It might be 10, 12, 15 minutes long. Get a thumbnail for that, a hook for that, a description for that, call to action for that, and upload it to YouTube. Same thing, but just for the framework part. When I'm teaching the actual frameworks of what to do to apply to your business, get that done. New thumbnail, new hook, new description, new call to action, new title. Boom, upload. That's what I do on the weekends, right? Then IG, take it even shorter, a minute and a half, little section. Get it on the reels. Take my text, the same text that I did on X and on YouTube posts, but I'm going to have a different color background because it's Instagram. So I'm being a little bit more aesthetic and get that up there. And then I don't have a plan for storage yet. I don't know. We're going to figure that out. And then Substack, take the same thing that I did on YouTube about framework, the posts that I do for that, and turn it into a long form article. The post that I do for quantum physics or metaphysics, make that a long form article. Something that I brought up about currency or headlines or like TikTok and what I had to say about Bad Bunny or whatever, what's going on in the world. Why y'all are watching the Super Bowl? This actually happened because I know we missed some headlines, y'all. It's the global economy, that reset, all of that lives on my Substack, right? And then Great Escape. My one of my family members just got back from Puerto Rico, and seeing as that's in the news because Bad Bunny, let's talk about it. Is this a place that we should be considering for relocation? Great Escape, So I'm gonna do that article. You know what I'm saying? That's probably gonna happen on the weekends, but you know what I mean. But do that. Then I have a daily plan for my notes, like engaging with people on Substack, engaging with people on LinkedIn, and like actually reaching out to people, commenting, doing all that. I'm doing that in the evening. This is how my day is gonna go. Then my outreach for Aquagenuity. Then my work for my Moonjug partnership. Then my daily reflection, putting everything into my CRM. And I have a form. If I figure out how to automate this, I will share it with you guys. But there's a form. I fill out the form with like all my notes from everybody that I engaged with. So if somebody sends me a DM or I send them a message and they reply back, anything like that, I just put all the notes, and then it is supposed to automatically update my CRM for me. So if that works.
Do you use Airtable? Because I know you can create a form version of your table, and it'll automatically upload it into there.
So that's what I'm working, believing that it's going to work out. Yes, because that would be perfect. That should almost even solve the issue that you were saying, a week or two ago. Because every conversation, just fill out the form. To me, that feels easier for some reason. I don't know why, than filling out the table. But anyway,
actually, that does sound nicer to me.
I don't know why.
So I think I'm going to convert it to a form.
If you figure it out before I do,
because I think I'll let you know. I think it's just because there's so many fields,
right?
And we're hyper concentrating on each different one,
as opposed to.
So I'm putting that on my list right now.
And then I have an end of day ritual where I am just reviewing, the notes that I've been taking throughout the day. When I get an idea, I write it down in the certain place. Ooh, this would be good content. This, that, the third. Just review it. Just meditate on it. I started making notes about who I need to reach out to the next day, what I want to do for my script the next day, and I have reflection questions at the end of the night. What did I learn? What did I do? Whatever. And then I'm off for the day. That's what my bingo card sounds like, y'all. I'm not playing right now. Go ahead, Tracy.
So this is a lot. What I do like is this is not dependent on if someone says yes or no.
Mm-hmm.
Like I guess your feelings is not about this. It's just every day staying in the energy with not spiraling down.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to ask a question about how do you know when you're moving and you are spiraling? Because you could be moving. Sometimes I feel like I'm moving, and based on, I don't even know if it's based on the results, but just in general, you're moving in a direction that is for your business, but you don't necessarily feel like you're spiraling up, but you are in motion. So how do you distinguish the two?
You can feel if you're spiraling down. It will,
For sure.
It will feel anxious and crazy, all kinds of bad feelings. So the goal is to not allow negativity, anxiety. Don't let your nervous system get in a negative emotional state. And as long as you're doing that, we're good. Ideally, as we get comfortable, develop these skills, we'll start to feel joy in doing the work of the new thing that we're building, right? But as long you can feel neutral, and that's fine. But if you feel anxiety or bad or negative, then you got to fix something. That's a dashboard light.
I noticed with you, like you're super spontaneous and you seem like you're constantly like in a thought pattern, like you're thinking, but you say you're on a complete schedule. How do you balance this feeling of wanting to be free and at the same time being on a schedule?
Well, my freedom, my schedule is my freedom. Because I have a schedule that allows me to live the life that I want to live and not be a slave to some crazy job. Because according to my credentials, I'm supposed to be working for some corporation somewhere, and they'll probably be paying me $600,000 a year at this point or more. But at what cost? Like, I don't think so. Like, this is my freedom to be able to dictate the inputs that I'm putting into the energetic field so that I could live and maintain the life that I've designed for myself. This is freedom to me.
Okay.
I feel the same way because we are in control of our days. I've felt that way since I started working remote. Really, I miss the people, but as long as I like do what Doll is telling us, reach out to people, connect with people. Like I put it on my calendar. Hey, I'm doing a girls' night Friday or whatever. That's what I did this past weekend. And it, like, I had a great weekend. It was so nice to connect with everybody. I only did, I did random work like with you, Tracy, on Sunday. And you know, like I fit it in so that I knew I was taking care of myself, and but also keeping in mind that, hey, I have on my calendar, you know, on Saturday and Sunday, do part 1 and part 2 of my social content. To actually sit down and do it and find time to do that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I feel like I can go to yoga anytime I want. I can
leave the country tomorrow. I could go
exactly
do whatever I want to do. This is freedom. And Tracy, to your point, that's great feedback, Micaiah. To your point, this is part of the mindset that we have to shift, because employee mindset says my freedom is on the weekend when I don't have to clock in, go to work, and I can just sit on the couch and get fat, basically, and, you know, watch TV or in Netflix. You know what I'm saying? Consumer, that's programming. They programmed us to be that way. Okay, nature does not do that. Anything in nature that doesn't have structure is chaos. Anything in your body, cells that don't have structure and it is growing and do what they want to do, it's called cancer. There's no such thing as true freedom that's sustainable without structure or constraints. The question is, are you going to impose the constraints? Or are you going to be subject to what the system is doing to you? Because they don't have nothing good planned for us out here. So that's a huge shift we got to make, to think of freedom does not mean I don't have to do nothing with my time. That's what somebody who's been on a plantation for 50 years. And even then, that's not how they got, when they got free, they did not go outside like that. They didn't. You know what I'm saying? If they had just been floating around, I mean, they got in, they locked in, you know, they're farmers. You got harvest schedule, you got the move. Okay, nature, all of our ancestors, we were in line with the stars, the moon. We don't, when the moon is waning, we don't do certain things. When this is going on, when the stars are doing this, we don't, we are in line and in tune with what's going on around us. There's a time and a season for everything. It's not just do what you want to do when you want to do it. That is an invention of capitalism, and it destroys us from the inside out. So, but that's a beautiful question, because a lot of people, especially artists and creative people, tend to struggle with that. And so that's what I mean by rising, because like we're setting our course. So if you think about it through the steps and the lens, what we said today, and it's like, okay, like this is where you get your freedom. Your freedom is in the 4D. Your freedom is in separating from what's going on, rising. I don't have to feel no way. I don't have to, be pulled in any direction. I'm an observer. And I can flip through mentally, imagination, all of that. You can flip through all the potential options that exist. I could be this, I could do that, I could have this, I could, dream, do that. Then we got to complete the cycle though. So it's fire, air, water, earth. We got to come back down to earth. So in so doing, as we come back through the waters, everything is born through water. That's why your water breaks when you're born. When you come back down to this reality, you have to set a course, right? Because there's too much else going on out here. If it was just a vacuum and nothing was there but you, then you could just float and not do, right? But because there's so much, and it's like, okay, we got a direction that we're going. If I don't set a course, if I don't lock it in, if I don't make sure every time it starts going this way, I pull it back, I'm never going to get there. I'm never going to make it, so setting our course is what the schedule is. Reinforcing the frequency so that we collapse and design our own reality. That's what the schedule is. So like I said, to me, that's the ultimate freedom, to be able to do that. That's mastery. Just like maintaining any system requires, a certain level of consistency systems, but I don't think of it as restraint. Mm-hmm.
And you started to do this and saying no to the people that commonly knew they had your time and you were saying yes to. Not even business things, just friends and family. How did that go? How did that shift happen for you?
Everybody's like, Doll, where's Doll? There was like a joke for about a year, and they figured out, yeah, no, I'm redesigning my life. I'm no longer available to sit around look at y'all. Even though we used to have, great conversations, it wasn't like they're not valuable. I'm just not on that anymore, And, they adjust. They have to adjust. They'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody was in their feelings or whatever, but they were kind of like, whoa, this is different. Yeah, it's different now. We're different now. But I think I tell you this a lot. It's like, it's no different than deciding to get married or deciding to leave the country or deciding to, do something totally drastic. Like, yes, there are a lot of things that you were doing before that you're not going to be doing now because you're engaged or you about to do this thing or you're going to college or whatever. And yeah, we got to hold the energy and people have to adjust around it,
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. Thank you.
Absolutely. So I love getting to do this. I really, really do. Thank you guys so much for being part of this very special journey that we're on. And until the next one, drink your water, mind your business. We don't get what we want. We get who we are. So let's rise. Until tomorrow, same time. I gotta go. So we're out.